fast eights now. This is the start of the second varsity 8 event. Let me set the field for you. In lane number 1 is Minnesota. Lane number 2 is Wisconsin. Lane number 3 is Rutgers. Lane number 4 is Michigan. Lane number 5 is Ohio State. Lane number 6 is Indiana. Lane 7, Iowa. And lane 8, Michigan State. And one of the things that we all want to keep in mind is not only is this an NCAA event, but these events, the point value is graduated as you go towards the one varsity event. So the second varsity event is worth a few more points for each position of finish in the point tally than the 1V4 was, or the first varsity 4 was. And it follows then that the one varsity race, 8 race, is worth even more points yet towards the championship, towards the conference championship, and towards their total points in the NCAA calculations. So the crews are on the line. It just doesn't get much better than this as far as racing conditions. There's just a wisp of a breeze out here. It's interesting because it's still sort of a quartering tailwind from the port side to the starboard side, or from the finish line tower side away. It seems to be a little bit more of a breeze in the middle of the course, but it's perfect at the start here. In my rowing vernacular, it's flatter than a tortilla out here. And the second varsity 8 race is off. And they've cleared the first 100 meters. I don't see any breakage, so this is an official race. And this is going to be very exciting to follow this one down. Indiana's got very smart uniforms today. They're rowing in a bright yellow boat. They have their red uniforms on, and all of the athletes have white ball caps on. So a really classy looking gear out here this afternoon. So as the crews approach 250 meters in, I would say that the early leaders, Rutgers is making a real big commitment to the first 500 again. So your early leader in the second varsity 8 race is Rutgers, Michigan, Ohio State. All 3 are dead even right now. In 4th place, it's really close between Indiana and Wisconsin. And then I would say about another quarter of a length back is Iowa. And then you've got, and the field is really tight, really, really tight. As we go through 500 meters, Michigan has about a foot lead over Ohio State. Rutgers is falling off the pace just a little bit now. I'd say it's about a half a boat length back to Rutgers. Another half a boat length back to Indiana and Wisconsin. Another full boat length back then to Iowa and Minnesota, and another half a boat length back to Michigan State. So 750 meters in, it's bow ball to bow ball between Ohio State and Michigan. A half a boat length back to Rutgers, and another half a boat length back to Wisconsin and Indiana. So rowing at 37.5 strokes a minute, the race leader is Ohio State by about 3 feet over Michigan. Both boats are rowing stroke for stroke. They're both rowing exactly the same stroke rate, And Ohio State's moving up now a little bit on Michigan. I'd say that Ohio State has about a third of a boat length on Michigan. At the 1,000-meter mark, let's say a quarter of a boat length. It's still really close between Ohio State and Michigan. We're in the third quarter of the race now, and I'll tell you what, it looks like Ohio State's putting a move on right now. They're almost a half a boat length up on Michigan. Third place is Rutgers. They're about 3/4 of a length down on Michigan, and they are about a half a boat length ahead of Indiana. So the first four crews here, it's really tight racing, but Ohio State has made a real statement here in the third 500. They're continuing to move up on Michigan now. It's Ohio State by about 2/3 of a length over Michigan. And then you've got open water back to Rutgers and Indiana, and they're almost dead even. Another boat length back to Wisconsin and Iowa, and then Minnesota and Michigan State are trailing the field. So 750 meters left to go. The conditions here are absolutely perfect. And Ohio State's rowing a really nice, deliberate, long stroke. Michigan's rowing flawlessly as well. 500 meters to go. It's Ohio State 2/3 of a length over Michigan. A half a boat length of open water back to Rutgers and Indiana. And Indiana is giving Rutgers their hands full here. This is going to be a great race for third place. So, 350 meters left to go. Ohio State now has almost a boat length on Michigan. Michigan has a half a boat length of open water on Rutgers and Indiana. I'd say Rutgers is probably 10 or 12 feet ahead of Indiana at this point. So I'm going to let you call it here, Mandy. This is a good one.
All right. Ohio State is in front of Michigan. Michigan is trying very hard to move back into the Ohio State boat. Ohio State's got that edge where they want to protect the lead that they've established from the get-go. But right now, you can see Michigan moving. They've got a big move here. And Ohio State's got the power behind each stroke. Now we've got Rutgers charging, trying to get ahead of Indiana. It looks like they are. Ohio State seems to still be in the lead here as they finish up. They've got about 5 strokes to go. Can they hold on to the lead? It looks like they can. It's Ohio State, followed by Michigan. And who's it going to be? Rutgers is making a big move here on Indiana. It's going to be close, but it's Rutgers, Indiana. And then we've got the Badgers coming on.